What's up, guys? One last video honoring 2022. One of my Twitter followers recommended this great idea, top 10 kills of 2022, and we're gonna do it. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to another top 10. It seems like you guys like these a lot because I always get a lot more views with top 10s. They're fun though. I love doing top 10s. And Mike Murdoch gets the shout out for this idea. Top 10 kills of 2022, which this is an irresistible idea. And I have 11 kills that we're gonna cover. So I guess 11 would be an honorable mention. So let's just jump right into it, okay? So number 11 is going to be From Bones and All. And really, this isn't a movie about the kills. It's more of an emotional journey with these two characters that have this affliction. You know, they're cannibals. The scenes of violence are really rough to watch. You know, they don't make you feel good at all, okay? But I have to mention it because, spoiler alert, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert here, okay? Because this is a kill that involves a spoiler. It's in the last scene of the movie. And Timothée Chalamet, his character, Lee is his name, he wants her to eat him. You know, they have this big fight with the villain of the movie, and he is dying. You know, the violence is so realistic looking in this movie. Like, knife gouges look real. And he's dying, and he tells her to eat him. And it's just a very emotional scene, and it's tough to watch, too. But it's, you know, I think kills that are of that value, that are just really controversial and even provocative, they belong on this list too. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that on this. Okay, so number 10 is going to be from Scream 5. Guys, I'm going to admit, I don't think the kills are the greatest in really the Scream franchise, because it's mostly, you know, a knife movie. So they don't go out of their way to be really, really creative with the kills. There is that element of surprise, and there was this one scene with Kyle Gallner, which he has a small part in the movie, but Ghostface is behind him, and that's just a beautiful scene. It's lit very nicely, and he just, you know, starts stabbing him in the neck from behind. I'd hate to be that guy. It didn't look like a fun end for a victim. You know, being killed by knife is probably the least way somebody would ever want to go out. You know, Nicole Brown Simpson said that. She literally said her worst fear is being killed by a knife, and that's how she died. So that's why I put this kill on here, because it did have an element of realism to it, much like the very first kill from the first movie had. It was pretty graphic and emotional, and this one doesn't compare to that kill. But I wanted to put a kill from Scream on this list. So number 9 is Smile. The opening scene is the best scene in the movie with this character, and she's got the curse, you know, the smile curse, and I think the way they handled the smile in this movie was extremely effective and very creepy, and she literally kills herself right there in front of the psychiatrist. And that kind of sets the chain into motion, because the movie, the main character is the psychiatrist, and she starts going through hell, I guess, for the rest of the movie. Kind of like what The Ring was, you know? She's cursed throughout the rest of the movie. But that opening kill was pretty impactful. Number 8 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I still don't get you guys. Everybody that said that, like, this is like their least favorite movie of the year, are you serious? Like, if you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I get those guys that aren't a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're not really into that world. I get how you could watch this movie and think it's dumb. I get that. But if you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this gives you exactly what you want. And boy, does it have some really good kills. Like, guys, it was tough for me to pick one great kill from this movie, because I didn't want to put, you know, I could put Terrifier 2 in like 3 or 4 different spots in this, but I didn't want to do that. Only one per movie. I would say the ambulance scene when he breaks the guy's wrist and then stabs him in the throat with his own bone. That was the moment I was like, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be fun. But then, you know, also another slight spoiler here. With Sally, when he freaking picks her up. You know, there's this whole build up, and she's a badass. Laurie Strode, she's gonna kick ass. And Leatherface is like, no, and I don't even know who you are. And he picks her up and tosses her in a freaking trash can. You know, in like a trash pile. And then the very last scene when he freaking saws the girl's head off. Wow, what a shocker there, and hilarious. You don't like Texas Chainsaw Man? Are you serious? Okay. Number 7 is Christmas Bloody Christmas. This one had a lot of good kills in it too. This was more about like blunt force trauma. It wasn't as far like as being creative, like super creative with the kills. They had a few like a head stomp. One thing I liked about this kill wise was that it tried to replicate kills that you might see like say in 1982. How would practical effects guys make a kill back then? That's what it felt like. The head didn't look real. You know, kind of reminded me of like what they did in Sleepaway Camp with that canoe. Same thing here. You know it's fake, but it's still awesome and effective. But the kill that I liked was when Santa Claus, you know, one of the first kills, he goes into the store and he slams her head up against that glass cabinet over and over. Blunt force trauma, right? Hallelujah. Number 6 is Violent Night. Ooh, boy, this had some really great, not only kills, but just great scenes of violence. That whole Home Alone section, the crowd was freaking roaring. And you don't want to call Violent Night a horror movie, but damn, does it have some good kills. But I think my favorite is this showdown between Santa Claus and the SWAT team or whatever. But they're doing the Bryan Adams song, Something About Christmas Time. While there's all this killing and violence and blood going on, and Santa Claus is just, no pun intended, slaying, you know, all these opponents. And it was just so fun. Number 5 is Pearl. The kill that I wanted to mention here, because there were a couple of them that I was trying to decide back and forth, because I do love the very last scene of the movie, which I won't spoil, but it did have a good kill. But I guess the kill that is probably the most memorable, you know, she has this relationship with this projectionist throughout the movie, and things don't turn out the way she wants them to turn out. And he starts figuring out that she's a little left of center. And so she just loses it, you know, Pearl style, and brings her pitchfork with her and takes care of business while he's in the car getting ready to leave. And it's hilarious. And number 4, X. We did Pearl. We might as well just go ahead and jump right over to X. X had some really good kills, but you know, you didn't see the kills for a long time in the movie. It was more of a build-up and this film crew wanting to shoot their porno. There was just a gradual build, and then all of a sudden, Pearl, in old lady form, she's just standing out in front of this truck, and the guy who's about to leave because his hot girlfriend, played by Jenna Ortega, she wanted to do a porno with the other guy, and he didn't like that. And so he sees Pearl standing in front of the truck, so he gets out. And then she just stabs him, and then she just violently kills him. And it was just a really impactful moment, because I think this was the first really big violent scene of the movie. This was the tonal shift. Number 3, Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, even though Michael Myers didn't do all of the killing, I think the best kills were by Corey. You know, that whole, the junkyard scene. By the way, guys, the score for Halloween Ends, oh my God, just phenomenal. And easily my favorite score of the 3. I mean, guys, we live in a world where John Carpenter and company, they did 3 scores for 3 Halloween movies. How cool is that? And that's the one thing that nobody complained about. Everybody can agree that John Carpenter's scores were awesome in this, but the junkyard scene, you had that blowtorch kill, which was awesome, but also after that, the DJ scene when he goes in there, you have to mention, he freaking cuts the guy's tongue off. Really gruesome, gnarly stuff. But I like that Halloween Ends wasn't a kill movie. That's what Halloween Kills is. This was more about Corey's descent into madness and evil. But eventually the kills did come, and I thought that they were great. And by the way, now that all 3 movies are out, I do have a Spotify Best Of playlist. It's the DGG Best Of. I'll put a link below so you guys can go click on it, listen to it, and do me a favor, click the heart. I never ask for any subscribers. I never ask for likes, but it's my Spotify playlist I created, and I'm proud of it. So I want you to go over there, and that's the only like I will ever ask you for, okay? And other than that, I'll leave you alone. Number 2, Prey. This movie had an awesome freaking kill. It was the scene where the Predator, it's very similar to the scene where Arnold realizes what the Predator is in the first movie. Well, she has that moment, our main character, and she sees the Predator in a fight with this bear, and he's in stealth mode, so you can't see him. But this bear like lifts up into the sky, and then all of a sudden the blood of the bear starts pouring all over the Predator, and it was awesome. And I think this is like the moment where she started really learning how to fight the Predator, learning his ways, and you got that great showdown in the end. But it all started with that awesome freaking bear fight. And I remember, you know, because everybody, when you're watching a kill in a movie, you like to have a nice reaction, because sometimes you're just like, ooh, wow, that's... This one, I remember sitting up like, whoa, holy shit, that's freaking badass. Okay, number 1, no surprise, Terrifier 2. I mean, this movie was made up of awesome freaking kills. If I had to pick one, obviously it's the scalp. I do think it's a very gratuitous kill. I mean, it goes on for a while, this poor girl. But, you know, he attacks her, he scalps her, he stabs her in the back. Her mother comes in, and he sees her just completely in a mangled situation. Arm is completely chopped off. Easily one of the most graphic. It's almost like it goes so far that it's not even shocking anymore. That's how crazy it gets. You got to put Terrifier at number 1, right? Because there's just so many amazing kills. That's really what Terrifier is known for. Although, not to take anything away from Terrifier 2's story. I literally, right before this, I just watched Terrifier 2 again. I got the 4K in. Love the cover, the slipcover, by the way. I was so into the development of this Sienna character throughout, and you're just constantly rooting for her. Also, great music, too. I'm a music guy. If you give me great music in a horror movie, especially if it's like Cynthia and all that stuff, like they had the Boy Harsher song, Pain, and I remember when I first watched the movie, that song jumped right out. I was like, whoa, Pain from Boy Harsher, that's awesome. Boy Harsher, they have a soundtrack for The Runner, and I was just that's like one of my favorite soundtracks of last year. And it was just so cool to see them in that movie. They're getting a lot more notoriety now. They had the song in Halloween Ends. Yeah, great. So what was I talking about again? Yeah, that freaking kill was insane. And also there's a mashed potato kill I'll mention too that's really hilarious. So that's it. Mike Murdoch, thank you for the idea. Top 10 kills. I'm sure I missed a lot. Guys, let me know down in the comments your favorite kill of 2022. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks where we talk horror all day and every day. On Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Drumdum out.